Hi, afternoon. Social media is a form of mind control. Now, don't you worry, I'm going to qualify that statement shortly. But don't worry, also, it's going to be kind of disappointing to those of you who are expecting some sort of science fiction mind control ray. It's actually far simpler and not quite as strong, but at the same time, far more reliable. So, social media as mind control. Simply put, it's not going to make you lose consciousness and all of a sudden start following the whims of Zuckerberg. He's not going to be able to simply input command and have you carry out command. No, nothing like that. Well, the way social media works as mind control is actually very subtle, but very reliable. And it all goes back to what we call the H-psychology experimental line test, also known as the H-conformity test. Or, if you really want to find it quickly on Google, just search psychology line experiment. Trust me, you'll find it right away. Basically, the experiment went that a bunch of people were placed into crowds. The crowds were all controlled by the people running the experiment. They were all plants. They were working along with the scientist. So, you got that? One person who's actually being experimented on in a group of about 20 or so other people who are all in on the experiment. What they did is that they drew 3 lines, one line clearly longer or shorter than the others. It was clear to see by your eyes. However, what happened was, when it was asked, is one of these lines longer or shorter than the others? Well, initially, the people who were being experimented on very clearly could see reality with their eyes and said, why, yes, it is. Unless, of course, everybody else in the room, aside from the person being experimented on, was informed and instructed to say, no, all 3 lines are identical. Most of the time, the person being experimented on would look at the 3 lines, they would look at the crowd who is disagreeing with what they could clearly see as reality, and they changed their opinion. We're not talking about something subtle or complicated. It was literally 3 lines. One of them was a different length. But if the crowd said that all 3 lines were the same, then most people would simply ignore reality and change their answer. They would basically say, why yes, 2 plus 2 does in fact equal 5, if enough people surrounding them said that it did. So how does this map onto social media? Well, it's very simple. It's being proven more and more that a lot of accounts are really just bot accounts. They're robotic accounts, they're being controlled by somebody, usually a very small group of somebodies. One person can run an almost indefinite amount of bot accounts. So, if somebody gives an opinion online, say on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram or some other opinion, what have you, and the opinion is clearly wrong, it clearly flies in the face of reality, well, most reasonable people will simply say, well, that's not real. Unless several million people hit the like button on that video, showing that several million people agree with this sentiment. Several million people are disagreeing with your concept of reality. Most people who are unaware of this will change their opinion. Even if they know it is clear, observable reality, they will change their opinion, at least outwardly. And simply put, if you act in a certain way long enough, it becomes habitual. And pretty soon, other people start following you. Because they see you, they see how you're acting, you're a part of their environment, you might be a very important part of their environment. So they begin mimicking your behavior. Really think about that. Whoever controls the bots effectively controls the plant crowd. Whoever's controlling the bots can basically say the crowd says whatever I want them to say. The majority of people agree with whatever opinion that I want them to agree with, even if they're fake, because the perceived reality is that there are millions of people giving this particular opinion the up-like. They're giving them the thumbs up. They're giving them the tacit, yes, I agree with this. And it doesn't matter if they're real or not. It just matters that they are perceived as being real through a computer screen. At this point in time, people will begin changing their opinions to match the crowd. Now, not everybody, but about 67%. The average, that pesky 67% that falls within about one standard deviation of the mean, which is a substantial number. And to be perfectly honest, that's all you really need to control a society. You control the society, you control the civilization. For after all, laws can't be enforced if the people don't want them to be. So, oh, that's a good Rocky. Simply put, social media is mind control. Please feel free to look up everything that I've said, and please feel free to form your own opinions. After all, I'm not planting any ideas in your mind. I am simply presenting them before you. So, as per usual, remember to get outside every now and again, breathe in that delicious fresh air, drink plenty of water, eat fresh fruits, eat fresh meats, don't eat the bugs, don't live in a pod, do not give money to e-girls. Instead, focus on yourself. Don't let other people tell you what to do. And more importantly, always question what people tell you to believe. That's all for today. You all have a very nice day.